In 2025, Japan issued one of its most aggressive strategic warnings in decades, claiming that China's military expansion represents an unprecedented threat. But here is the uncomfortable truth nobody wants to say out loud. Japan isn't acting alone. The United States is pushing Tokyo into a far more confrontational position than most people realize, turning Japan into the frontline state of a geopolitical chessboard. For years, Washington has been searching for a reliable foothold in the Asia-Pacific, a region that will define the next 50 years of global power. And Japan, with its advanced technology, geographic placement, and long-standing alliance with the U.S., is the perfect candidate for America's strategic ambitions. So when Japan claims it feels threatened, the question is simple. Is this genuine fear or a carefully engineered narrative designed to justify military expansion? Let's break it down. Japan's 2025 defense report states that China's air and naval activities have reached record levels. That is true. China is expanding aggressively, but Japan's response has gone beyond defensive caution. Tokyo is now openly discussing military action if Beijing moves on Taiwan, something that would have been unthinkable a decade ago. What changed? The answer is the United States. Washington has been pushing a strategy known as integrated deterrence, a polite term meaning let our allies take the first hit while we control the game. Japan is being nudged into the role of the region's forward shield, positioned between China's rise and America's interests. And here's where the story becomes darker. By amplifying the China threat, Japan gains political justification to remilitarize, something that has always been controversial inside the country. Meanwhile, the U.S. gets exactly what it wants: a powerful regional partner willing to confront China directly without requiring American soldiers to be the first ones on the ground. But conflict doesn't happen in a vacuum. China responded immediately. Travel bans, trade restrictions, and diplomatic pressure. Beijing is signaling something clear. Push us, and we will push back harder. The Japanese public will pay the price long before Washington feels anything. Economically, socially, politically, this is the hidden cost of geopolitical games. Now, let's talk about the most dangerous part. If China attacks Taiwan, Japan has already indicated it may use military force. If Japan enters a conflict, the United States is obligated, through treaty, to intervene. And in that moment, the Pacific becomes the world's next flashpoint. With 3 nuclear-armed powers pulled into a collision course, ask yourself, is this really Japan's strategy or America's strategy wearing a Japanese mask? The U.S. isn't trying to defend democracy. It's trying to contain the one nation capable of challenging its global dominance. And Japan is simply the doorway. Japan claims that China is the greatest strategic challenge of the 21st century. But maybe the real challenge is this: how long can Japan pretend that it is making independent choices when every step it takes fits perfectly into America's long-term plan? This isn't just regional politics. This is the blueprint for the next global crisis. And the world is sleepwalking into it.